Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as I talk about how to water and fertilize your seedlings. So let's go. I've been starting seeds indoors for about 20 years, and over the 20 years I've learned a lot of different things, and that includes how to water and how to fertilize seedlings. When I was a high school teacher, I was mentoring a bunch of students on how to grow plants indoors under grow lights. One of the things I shared with them is when it comes to planting a seed, I want to say that's the easiest part of growing plants from seed. After that, it gets a little bit trickier. And one of the hardest things is learning how to properly water our seedlings. I wish I could give you some sort of secret to make it so much easier, a garden hack or a lazy way of watering seedlings. I'll be honest with you, it does require work, it does require patience, but it's well worth it. After all, gardening is a process, and starting plants from seed should be a patient process. So you don't want to rush the process when it comes to watering and fertilizing your little seedlings and plants. One of the questions I get asked often is, how do I know when to water my seedlings? One of the best indicators I can tell you is to look at the top of your soil. If the color of the soil is light brown, that's one of the best indicators. Another indicator is to just pick up your pot. And if the pot feels very light, that's another indicator to look for. And you really should be doing that per plant. You don't want to just be watering all the plants that you're growing in one day, for the reason that some plants need more water, some plants need less water. So you really want to take it on an individual basis when it comes to your plants. For example, last year my grow lights were full of plants from top to bottom. And every day I would check on those plants and I would see, do they need water or do they not? I wish I could just water them all in one day, but that wasn't the case. And I was okay with that because I wanted the best thing for my plants. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to knowing when to water is understanding that different plants have different requirements for water. Some plants like their roots to be a little bit on the drier side. Some plants prefer it to be a little bit wet. So it's important to know your plants and understand what kind of condition of soil they prefer. But one thing is true for pretty much any seedling that you're trying to grow. Overwatering the seedling can cause it to die. And if it doesn't cause it to die, it can definitely cause some major issues and it could really stunt its growth. Some of the issues you might encounter if you overwater your seedlings would include fungus gnats, which I don't know about you, but I don't like fungus gnats. It can cause poor root development, crown rot, nutrient deficiency, and diseases such as damping off. The next thing I want to talk about is, when do you water from above and when do you water from below? Oftentimes when it comes to growing seedlings indoors, you hear that you should only bottom water. There are some situations actually when you don't have to. So let me talk a little bit more about that. You want to bottom water seedlings when they're in the very first stages of their life, when they're first germinating. That is so important. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. You also want to bottom water seedlings when they're just starting to get bigger. So meaning when they're like a medium-sized plant. And it's really going to be a judgment call on your part, but I typically know when my plants have gotten to a pretty good size when I don't have to bottom water anymore. And then there are situations when you water from above. If you have seeds that are just surface sown, pressed into the soil, or just barely beneath the soil level, you might want to consider watering from above. And the reason is, when you bottom water, the water might not reach all the way up to those seeds, and then the seeds aren't going to germinate. So while you're waiting for seeds to germinate, if the seeds are planted very shallow or just on the top, it's okay to water from the top. And the best way to do that is to use some sort of a mister or a hand water pump spray, something like that. You don't want to use something that's going to pour a whole bunch of water on there, like something like a watering can. So for example, I recently sowed some tuberous and wax begonia seeds, which are like dust. I pressed the seeds into the surface. I've been watering the top with my hand sprayer probably every few days because I don't want them to dry out. As soon as I see germination though, I don't want to be doing that anymore. Then it's okay to bottom water. So there are a few ways that you can water from above. I already mentioned using a hand pump sprayer. You can definitely use that for a nice light mist. Also, if you have a plant that's a larger size, it's well established, it is totally okay at that point to water from the top, because trying to water from the bottom would take forever because the plant has gotten bigger and there are a lot more roots in its pot. So it's totally okay to water from the top with a much larger plant that you still have in your house and it's not ready to go outside. The key is don't get the water on the leaves. You just want to pick up the leaves and water beneath the leaves and to get right near the soil. Now I want to share all the benefits for bottom watering plants. First of all, it prevents overwatering a plant because a plant only takes up as much water as it needs. Next, it promotes healthy roots. The roots bring the water up to the plant, which then creates very strong roots. Bottom watering can prevent root rot as well as fungal infection. It also can prevent leaf rot because you're not getting any water on the leaves, which in effect would cause rot there. And that in turn reduces the spread of disease because the leaves don't get wet. And then a final benefit for bottom watering is the fact that you're evenly distributing the water in the soil. You're not just getting that top layer wet. There are a lot of different ways that you can water seedlings from below, but I'm going to share the way that I do it. I like to find a tray. It can be any tray that has a solid bottom to it. And I like to add about 1/2 of an inch of water in there. And I just use a watering can to add the water, but you can use whatever you want. The water will wick through the soil from the bottom, working its way to the top. Once the top of the soil is dark brown in color, or the cell pack or pot feels heavy, then pour out the water from the solid bottom tray. There are different ways that you can pour that water out. You can lift the whole tray up and pour it very carefully into a watering can or a bucket. Another way you can do it is you can actually remove the pot or pots from the tray and put them in a new tray. And sometimes I do both methods because sometimes when you have a whole bunch of plants in a 10 by 20 tray, it can get very heavy. So sometimes I might have an empty tray right next door, and what I'll do is transfer all my pots from the tray that had the water in it into the tray that doesn't have the water in it. If you have a number of trays, set them all up and start bottom watering a whole bunch at once. I start doing that when I have all my racks behind me filled up, because it takes a long time by the time you put the water in there and for the plants to wick up that water. So it's a good idea to just set up shop and get a whole bunch laid out and get them all watered. So it's just an efficient way to bottom water a whole bunch of plants at once. And then what I also like to do is set a timer for about 20 minutes, and then I go do a load of dishes, a load of laundry, or maybe I start cooking dinner, and then I come back and I check on my plants. Sometimes the plants have enough water and they need to go back under the grow lights. And then there are other plants that still need time. So I just continue the process of bringing more plants out and bottom watering those and continuing on. And I like to keep a bucket nearby, so if I do need to dump out any excess water, I can just pour it in there. A common question that I get asked is, how often do I water my seedlings? There really is no right answer when it comes to that. Like, I can't tell you it's going to be once a week or it's going to be 3 times a week. It's going to depend on so many different factors. It's going to depend on your environment, if you have a fan running, how big your pots are, what kind of soil you have. There's so many factors involved, which is why I'm making this video, because there are a lot of different factors you can check for that I already shared when it comes to how often you should water. Just look for those indicators and your plants will tell you when they need water. Another tip that I want to share with you is, personally, I don't like to have my pots sitting in the water. I don't think it's good. So I do like to remove my plants from standing water. I bottom water them, but once they've had enough water, I make sure to remove any standing water. And again, the reason is I don't want the plants to get too much water and thus causing a lot of issues. And remember earlier, I did tell you to be aware of your plants. So that's so important because I've noticed that myself, that some plants will start to not look good if they're given too much water. And then there are other plants that don't look good if they get too dry. You will eventually get to understand and speak that language that those plants are telling you, and just follow their cue and things will be fine. Just make sure you're not loving your plants to death. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And then a final tip that I have when it comes to bottom watering is, the smaller the size pot, the more often it'll need water. The larger the size pot, the more water it will need. And it's simply because there's a smaller volume of soil there, so it's going to dry out faster. Whereas if you have a larger volume of soil, it'll take longer for it to dry out. The next thing I want to talk about is how to fertilize your seedlings. A tiny seed is actually an incredible thing. It has a lot of good stuff packed inside of it. It has enough inside of it to cause that seed to germinate. It also has enough inside of it to create its very first leaves. Those leaves are called the cotyledons. However, as soon as the plants start getting their first set of what are called true leaves, and those appear after the cotyledon leaves, that's when you want to start fertilizing your plants. So that leads us into, okay, so how do we go about fertilizing our seedlings? Young seedlings do not need a lot of fertilizer when the first set of true leaves appear. In fact, too much fertilizer given to a young seedling like that can do a lot of harm. So remember to be very careful when you start initially fertilizing your young seedlings. Very small seedlings should be fed about 1/2 of the strength that's indicated on whatever fertilizer package you're using. And whatever I use for a fertilizer might be different than what you use for a fertilizer. There's no right or wrong. It honestly comes down to whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you can get your hands on, and whatever is in your budget. So when I'm growing my flowers indoors, I like to fertilize them with Miracle-Gro. And it says here for indoor plants, you want to mix 1/2 of a teaspoon per gallon of water. So you would take that 1/2 and you would cut it in half. That means you would want to use 1/4 of a teaspoon per gallon of water. For my vegetable plant starts that I grow indoors, I like to use Alaska Fish Emulsion fertilizer. And on the bottle, it says to use 2 tablespoons of the fertilizer per gallon of water. That means you want to use 1 tablespoon of the fertilizer per gallon of water for those young seedlings. And I like to fertilize my plants about once a week. And I'm going to continue with that diluted amount of fertilizer up until the plants start to get a little bit bigger and a little bit more robust. And again, that's going to vary from plant to plant. But use your best judgment. When you think your plant has gotten nice and big, then that's the time to switch over to using a full strength of your fertilizer. I really hope you found this video helpful. If I missed anything or if you have any other further questions, please feel free to add it below. And if you have additional tips that you've learned along the way when it comes to watering or fertilizing your seedlings, I'd love to hear what they are. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.